What's that? I can't hear you.
I recognize you. I saw you the other day.
Possible, yes. It is pretty awesome, yes. More people should have them. Are you with that church group?
Church group?
Are you with this group right here?
I'm not with that church group, no. I'm with Create Equal.
This church group.
Oh, this isn't a church group, but yeah, I'm with
It's a religious group.
Yeah, it's not a
Yeah, it's a religious group.
Yeah, it's an organization. It's not a church. That's what I mean.
Well, it's a religious organization.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely part of this church. Yeah.
That's what I meant when I said church.
Okay, if that's what you meant, then yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, bro.
So I guess this is your opposition right here?
Yeah, it would seem that way, yeah.
Huh?
It would seem that way, yeah. What are your thoughts?
I don't see anything wrong with abortion. I don't see why it's a big problem.
Okay. Do you support everyone, like, covering up our signs?
What?
Do you support them all covering up our signs?
Ban abortion. What does it say? Ban abortion what?
Ban abortion bans. But the point is,
What does
like,
that mean? Ban abortion bans?
so abortion bans, they want to ban those bans. So basically, abortion shouldn't be banned, that's what they're saying.
Oh, ban. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, a little
yeah.
slow. I'm still waiting for
Yeah.
my coffee.
I mean, I'm not talking mainly about their message, I'm saying,
Yeah, I think that you guys should be able to say what you want and have some discourse. But the whole aborted fetus pictures, I think, are
traumatizing.
not traumatizing. I think at all your angles that you guys take, there's to play on emotions.
Okay, so they're
You
like
know,
out
it's
of context.
you're trying to say abortion's murder when it's not, because murder is unlawful. You're trying to have the pictures of the fetus thing, which is also an emotional pull. You're trying to use this murder, which is a got you word, you know, an emotional word. The
yeah,
pictures.
murder's like by definition.
And then the whole defense for it typically seems to be religious in nature. So,
Yeah, you said murder's like unlawful by definition.
yeah, it's not lawful. You can say killing,
Sure.
but
Would you at least agree that other times in history murder has been legal? Maybe not.
if
to do with
murder is
abortion.
legal, then it's not murder. So you mean killing?
Okay, so back, let's say during the Holocaust, killing was legal. It wasn't murder when they killed the Jews.
Sure. And it was legal during the Inquisition when Christians killed people who didn't believe.
Exactly. That was the definition. You're not changing the definition.
Yeah. So I just wish that they would stop using the word murder. I think that the whole picture thing is just try to get some, because it seems to me that you don't have the ability to sway someone to be on your side unless you use emotional words, trigger words. Unless you use emotion to trigger
How's
somebody.
this for unemotional? Abortion is the intentional killing of a human being.
Intentional killing of a human being. Okay. Well, it's a development. It's a potential. It's a potential human.
I'm not saying potential. I'm saying
Yeah.
right at this moment, that moment when you say it's a human, it's a being of the species Homo sapiens, human being.
Well, so is jerking off.
What?
So is jerking off and killing sperm.
So a sperm?
Sperm is
When
alive.
the sperm meets the egg, it's not a being.
Doesn't matter. It's still alive. It doesn't matter. It's still alive.
Well,
right?
that's being biological.
So it's really how far back do you want to go? It's because
Murder is if you kill
an embryo is not the beginning of life. It's not the beginning of life because
Well, we got
Life-
if you want to check out our embryology textbooks, feel free.
life started millions or billions of years ago, and it's an ongoing process,
If you
right?
want to check out our embryology textbooks, that's fine.
I doubt it'd have much information.
What?
I doubt it'd have much information.
Well, you can judge for yourself.
Yeah.
But it kind of sounds like you're just making up your own definitions of human life right now.
Yeah.
So you're welcome to refer to the embryology textbook if you want. But it's up to you. Your choice.
Okay.
Safe, legal, and on demand. We alone decide our fate. We alone decide our fate. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. My choice.
Should I get my coffee and come back? I think so.
Separate the church and state. Separate the church and state.
What's that? And it doesn't sound too healthy.
They're for kids with cancer.
I like your friends though, they're hot. See that?
Thank you.
Alright, I'm gonna come back after this. Hey guys, I'm back. You guys are neglecting all the ones that are over there. No, oh, there is people over there too? I just saw a lot of these signs. I didn't see anyone protesting them.
Yeah, there's a student protest today.
There's a what?
There's a student protest today.
Okay, because I remember I was here last week and nobody was out here.
Yeah, these people decided to come out this week to do outreach. Most of them are minors and they paid $350 to do it.
Why would they? $350?
Yeah, why didn't you go ask
It's
her?
a religious group though, right?
Yeah, I assume so.
You would think the religious group would pay for it.
Right, because it's free labor, right? And they're missing school.
Well, yeah, I talked to one last week that was like 19, so they're right about.
Some of them are under 18.
Oh. Yeah, I tried to have a discussion with one of them, and it just boiled down to their religious views.
Yeah, that's how it usually goes. The moral Olympics, you know.
And then I got accused of bullying because I would not let him ramble on, and I would catch him on in the faults, his faults. I don't know. Some older guy just said, he said to me, "You're much older than him."
You're bullying minors.
I'm
You're
like-
bullying people. You're bullying minors.
What is
They're
a-
17. Okay, they have algebra homework.
Yeah, what does the age matter? I mean, they're out here with the big boys, so
Yeah, they're harassing college students.
and they got pictures of fetuses
Fake pictures,
And they're fake.
and they call it. I hate it when they call it murder and it's not murder because it's unlawful. And then everything goes back to their. And then the only biggest argument they have is they say that life begins at conception, and that's their whole argument. But you tell them that life's been going on for millions, if not billions, of years, and that we're an ongoing continuation of that. And it doesn't start with. It doesn't start with the embryo. It started a long time ago. We just continue on, and they say, well, you shouldn't kill life. I'm like, well, technically, sperm is life because it's alive. So I really, it comes down to me, it comes down to your feelings and your opinions. It doesn't come down to facts when it comes to supporting either side. I don't think you can convince either side because it comes down to, they might use the whole religious thing as their base.
There's no scientific basis behind that.
Yeah, right. But it's really just a preference of where you feel like being. So if that's the case, then I will err on the side of caution, and I will therefore support abortion because people who are already alive, who already have rights, want to live their life a certain way, should have the ability to live it any way they wish. And I think another good argument for it is you can't make someone give blood to save another person's life, right? So if someone's dying and your blood's the only one going to save them from around here that anybody knows about, the state can't make you give blood. So you can't be forced to save or help someone else's life. You need initial and continual support or consent to help that other person. And the moment you stop, then you're not going to give blood anymore, right? So the analogy I'm drawing there is if a woman decides not to have a kid anymore, her consent's done. So she says, okay, well, I don't want it. It's going to do this to my life, and I don't want that. So you get rid of it. You can't force someone to take care of something. So that's I think that's the biggest argument.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
For-
like the saying, if you abortion don't have one.
Yeah, so that was, and then the main reason why I debated with them because I knew they would pull some sort of religious viewpoint into it, and that's what I excel at, the religious arguments. So, yeah.
Baby killer!
Baby killer.
Oh, please, Howard.
Yeah, I just think the pictures are. Well, you said they're fake. A lot of them are fake.
Yeah, they're like miscarriages. Or most of them are doctored in some way. They aren't actual abortions.
Well, of course, they're gonna do everything they can to make it look. They probably Photoshop it, make it look more baby-like.
Oh yeah.
They stitch it together, say, "Oh look," they make it look to a face.
The facts are that that's not what abortion looks like. It's just not true. And
Yeah, most of the time, isn't it always within the first couple of months or something?
Yeah.
It's before it's a fetus.
it does not look like a fetus.
Yeah.
I can say that for sure.
And then I'm like, well, if you care about that, you should care about people jerking off.
And why don't you adopt 10 children if you're so passionate about it?
And we have so many children. We have so many children in foster homes and shelters. I grew up in that shit.
They
Right.
overturned Roe and they're having a 6-week ban in Florida. I think these bitches have they already won. I don't know why they're
6-week ban? You barely know that you're pregnant by
I know
then.
It's introduced in the legislature. Probably gonna pass.
We're gonna go back to people hurting themselves trying to get rid of it.
It's unbelievable.
The only issue I have, because this is all about women's rights, the biggest issue I have with your side is that no one gives a shit about men.
Well, actually, lots of trans men get abortions.
Okay, well, I'm talking about men, not.
Trans men are
For sake of avoiding an argument, I'll say biological men.
Cis men.
No one cares about the fact that men have zero reproductive rights. I would be more on your camp if more people were like, okay, well, rights, reproductive rights, women, yeah, I'm all for that, but they're not like, okay, well, men don't have the option of walking away.
Actually, they do most of the time.
No, they really don't. They go after them for child support and stuff like that. So, if more women were supporting men's rights and the fact let them have, a right to one to be a parent as well as them, because this is all about when the woman wants to be a parent, which I support. If they just supported men to do the same thing, I'd be more on board. You know what I mean? It seems like nobody really cares what men go through.
They also don't have to carry the pregnancy.
Well, yeah, but they force them to pay for it after, which is bad because it disrupts their life a lot.
Well, it takes two people to make a baby.
Actually, no, it takes just the woman
No, you're wrong about that.
because she's the one who gets pregnant, right? It's her body,
Yeah, and the man is the one that impregnates her.
right? But she chose to get pregnant. She chose
And
to
he
have,
chose to participate in unprotected
right?
sex.
But sex is not consent to have children.
Sex has to have consent if it's consensual.
I'm talking about. I said consent to have children.
Well, if you're having unprotected sex, you are consenting to have children.
No, well, then the woman should not have abortion then, because if you're going to force the man to pay for something he didn't want, then women shouldn't have any choices either, right?
I mean, that.
Isn't that fair? We're talking about equality, right?
Problem with the courts. The courts the court's logic is if there's a child that's going to be born, then it's better to have two parents pay support for it.
I understand. I understand that.
I mean, you can disagree with it, but that's their logic.
Yeah.
I don't really have a position on it.
Right. Yeah.
It's not really what we're here fighting.
Yeah. That's my problem because it's just about women and not about men.
Well, men aren't really being attacked legally right now.
Well, that's because we have no reproductive rights to attack.
Cis men, yeah.
Cis, you mean straight?
I mean
Straight men.
cisgender.
I mean regular straight men.
I mean cisgender. That's exactly what I mean.
Well,
Probably because I'm old.
all right. Good talk.
It's nice talking to you.
See you later, guys.
See ya.
I get the heebie-jeebies talking to those guys. Probably a little more than talking to these guys. I don't know why. What's up?
What are your thoughts on abortion?
My thoughts on abortion. I feel that I don't see anything wrong with it.
Okay. So, do you think that this is a human life?
What's that?
Do you think that this is a human life?
I think sperm is a human life
Why is that?
because it's alive and it's human cells.
Well, I don't think that sperm is a human life because it's not formed into its own DNA yet.
It has its own DNA. It has DNA in it.
It doesn't grow into a human. Like into.
It has the
isn't-
ability to.
Well, once it forms into something else, then.
Well, if it continues its progress, it can.
If it forms into something else.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it has the ability to go to.
It has the ability to be
Right,
a human.
right.
Yeah, but it's not a human, right?
It's human cells.
Yeah, but
It's like an embryo is a human cell. It's a bunch of human cells, right?
yeah, it is.
Okay.
But it grows.
Sure. And a sperm can too.
It can, but it doesn't necessarily.
And neither does an embryo if you have an abortion.
Which is killing.
Okay.
You kill a cell.
So
then
when
it
you
dies.
so when a guy jerks off and the sperm doesn't go into the thing and it gets tossed, that's killing potential humans as well.
No, it's not because
Why not?
it is not actually a human.
Well, it's but
It
human
isn't.
cells.
It isn't. It's not growing. It's not maintaining
Why does that matter?
homeostasis.
What do you mean? What not growing? What does it matter whether it's growing or not? It has potential.
Well, all
It can be.
humans grow, right?
Okay, what does it have to do with it though? We're talking about human cells that have the ability to become a person.
Well, the reason why the preborn are human though is because they're growing.
Okay.
That's one reason at least.
Okay.
And a sperm isn't growing, right? It's still
Right,
sperm
but-
until it forms into something else, and then it does.
Why
grow.
is growing the measure stick? here?
It's one. There's many.
Why is it any kind of measuring stick? What does it matter?
Because
we're talking about human life, human cells. So I don't see why growing has a measuring stick.
okay, it is because we know that you and I have grown a lot in our lives. We know that that's a normal attribute of humans. Every
Okay.
human grows in their life, right? A preborn human grows into an older preborn human, and then it grows into a newborn, and then it grows into a
Okay.
one-year-old. And
I
then
still don't know why growing is a measuring stick.
that's just because it's a scientific definition.
Scientific definition.
Yeah, of a human.
Okay. Science means to know. So science is knowledge. So it is our knowledge. It is our knowledge that sperm is human cells that has the ability to grow.
If it forms into something.
Right. So it's still
I
human
know
cells.
that you don't think that a sperm is a human.
Why wouldn't I think it's human? They're human cells, are they not?
Yes.
Okay then. So then that's all we're talking about, right? Human
No,
cells.
because
You're
it is
trying to
not-
add more onto it by saying, well, it needs to grow. Where is that? Why is that? I don't really understand.
Okay.
Your
so
basis
if you-
was
Okay. Let's go
Okay.
to this point. Do you think that the preborn?
what?
Do you think that the preborn?
Do I think what?
Let's just throw aside sperm, okay? Do you think that the preborn?
Do I think a preborn is human?
Yeah. Do you think that's a human right there?
I think it's a potential human.
Okay. When do you think is the point that they become a
Birth.
human? Birth? Okay. So you think that this is not a human right here?
If it hasn't been birthed,
Okay. So what do you think that it is then? What's
I
that?
don't know. I can't tell from looking at a picture, but if it hasn't born yet, I don't see it as an actual human. I see its potential. Because a lot of things can go wrong during pregnancy, and you can lose it at any time.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, a lot of things could go wrong with me, right? I could
Right.
die any minute. I could have a heart attack and die right now. That doesn't mean that I'm not human, though, right? Just
No,
because
of
something
course
could go
not.
wrong.
No, I
with me.
didn't say what. So
Okay,
I don't know
so-
why you're making an analogy.
Because
Okay.
your point was that something could go wrong, which means that it's not a human. So I was paralleling that to me.
I didn't say it was human. I just said that it's potential,
Okay, so
as in rights and things of that nature.
what do you think is the difference between me and the preborn that makes them not human? Like your big thing. That
I didn't
you're
say
like, that
not
means-
human. I just said with rights.
Okay, so you
Potential is
do-
an actual human is one that's been born.
Okay, so you think that
Maybe I should say, when I say a potential human as an actual, I meant without rights and with rights.
Okay, so you think that the preborn don't have rights?
No, they shouldn't.
Okay, so you think they're human, but they don't have rights?
That's correct.
Okay, so do you not think that all humans have equal rights then?
Do I think all humans who are born have equal rights? Yes.
But what about all humans? Like, what's
I mean,
the...
they should. What?
shouldn't all humans have equal rights though? Shouldn't,
All
isn't
born
that-
humans should have rights of some degree. Yes.
Okay, so you think that breathing, like, and being out in the world is what gives you a right?
I don't know. What, do you have a point you want to make instead of asking all these leading questions that are going nowhere?
I mean, they're kind of trying to get you to start thinking.
Oh, I've been around and debating topics like this for years. So,
Okay.
yeah. What is it you don't think I'm thinking about?
I don't think that you're thinking about truly what the preborn are, and
I know the human
using
cells,
that to.
just like sperm is. They're
Okay.
human cells, yeah.
Okay, so if you think that they're human though, you've got to think about why they aren't as valuable as we are.
Because they aren't born yet.
So you just think that it's just like, what's the thing
It's
that
all
born
about
people
birth.
can do?
It's all about birth.
Okay, what's the thing that born people can do that they can't do that makes them
Have rights.
have rights?
Yes.
So having rights is what makes you valuable.
It's what gives you the to be protected of some degree.
Okay, but
That's what rights
do you
do.
think that
It was Ed, right? Was it Ed? I talked to you on
Can I help
Monday.
you with something? Or have a conversation right now?
Oh, I just wanted to say hi.
Oh, hi.
This is the guy we talked
Okay.
to. Remember the guy who, like, I think like 4 of us talked
Okay.
to him.
Yeah. I think I talked to you last year, maybe.
Last year?
Yeah. Did you talk to people last year? I recognize you. Maybe it was this year.
I could have been out here last year. I don't recall.
Okay.
Yeah. So you were saying?
I don't know. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Shit. Something about.
Oh, rights. Do the rights determine value?
Oh yes.
So do you think that someone
Yeah.
who is oppressed and like during slavery, right? They didn't have the same rights as you and I. Do you think that the African Americans though were still valuable?
Blacks. Do I think what?
Do you think the blacks were still valuable?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they didn't have rights though, just like the preborn don't have rights.
They had some rights.
But obviously
different-
not the good
under
rights.
our
We
structure, yeah.
obviously believe that they should have had more rights.
Well, people have different rights depending on where they live and what they interact with, stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree. So do you think that that's okay though? Like, do you think that comparing that to the preborn, preborn have different
Why would
rights
we
than do?
compare it to preborn now? It's not even talking about the topic.
Because it's comparing, I mean, you've got to do that with any argument, right? You've got to look in the world that you live in, and you've got to think, okay, this is why this thing is wrong, right? So that's what we're doing with the preborn. We're saying, okay, these are the reasons why this thing is wrong. We can't just pop
So you think
an
it's
argument
wrong
out
for
of-
them not to have rights before birth?
Yeah, I think
What
they should
rights
have
do you think they
rights.
should have before
Life.
birth? Okay.
That's the life.
So
that's the way
you feel that it's okay, your own logic, you feel it's okay to force someone to care for another person.
Well, I do believe that if you get pregnant and
No.
you have a baby,
It's a yes or no. You think it's okay to force a woman to care for another person?
I think that she needs to keep the baby.
So yes. So the answer is yes.
I mean, you're kind
Is
of
it-
asking a loaded question.
No, it
there,
doesn't
but-
matter. It's a yes. Well, it's a yes or no. Like you think that she should be forced to care for another person.
Again, it's a loaded question. In this situation,
Okay.
yes, but you can't. Like,
Okay.
put
So
words
the
in my
answer.
mouth.
I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm just asking for yes or no.
Okay.
From the sound of your argument and how you're phrasing your logic, it seems like you're saying yes. So since you think that yes, a woman should be forced to care for someone who she does not consent to care for anymore, or actually never consented, you think it's okay. On the same token, now we go into the problem of if you have a rare blood type and someone needs some blood, and your blood is magical blood, which is actually true. Some people have really good special blood that helps other people. And that person's only going to live if you give the blood, because there's no one else I can find that has your kind of blood that has the shit that it needs for that person. The state cannot make you give blood.
I agree.
If you don't give, wait, you agree. So if you don't give blood, that person's going to die. But it's okay because it has to be your consent. Not only does it have to be your consent, it has to be your ongoing consent to give blood. You can make it all the way to the freaking blood thing and decide, no, I don't want to, and then boom, it's done.
Yep.
Right?
So
You can't give potential humans that could be born more rights than anybody else by forcing someone to care for them or save them against their will.
all right. So there's a lot to unpack there that you just said. First of all, you know that I believe that they're human, right? You know that my belief on that.
I believe they're human cells as well.
Okay. So I believe that in that case, it's a lot different because you think,
What's that? What was that?
she was waving to me.
Ted, how you doing?
I believe that in that case, there's obviously a lot different of a relationship between a mom and a baby. And I
Well, it's
also
not really a
believe-
baby, but
See, that's where a problem is.
well, a baby is a fetus that was born. So I'm just very technical.
Okay, a human fetus. Human
Well,
fetus.
it's not a fetus till 3 months.
That's not true.
Yeah, it's a fetus is when a zygote becomes a fetus at 3 months.
Okay.
It's just I'm very technical.
Okay.
It's-
Whatever you want to call it.
I wouldn't be technical if groups like yours didn't use stuff like murder when it's not murder. They try to use these emotionally charged words and they try to use emotionally charged pictures. If they didn't do that, then I wouldn't be so technical. But I have to be. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
Okay. I believe that also we think about. Obviously, there are exceptions, but when you consent to sex, you do consent to getting pregnant. That is a thing that is a natural consequence to sex,
Okay.
right? We know that that's a thing that happens when you have sex. with
Well, there's a lot of things you can do to prevent getting pregnant.
someone. Yes.
So having sex is not really consent to have children.
But you acknowledge that it's a natural consequence when you have sex.
Well,
you know that
it
the
is a
consequence
woman's
of that.
body. She's responsible for the state of her body, and pregnancy is her 100% responsibility because it is her body. So in that regard, yes, I consent that she's taking a risk, and she should prevent that risk as much as she can if she doesn't want to get pregnant. So yes, I agree.
So in that case, then she does have a. But if she does get pregnant, then she has a baby, and that baby
Well, she'd have to go through pregnancy to have a baby.
is okay. You know what I mean?
Okay.
She has a pregnancy, okay, and she is responsible to take care of her own offspring because she consented
Well, she doesn't have to
sex.
take care of her offspring. She can give up for adoption.
She can,
leave
yes.
on the steps of a safe place. So
That's
she
true.
doesn't really have to do anything.
But until then, someone needs to take care of the baby, and the person that can do that is her.
You mean
Until the baby's progressed.
until it's birthed?
Yes.
Right. Which goes back to the thing of it needs her consent and continued consent for that to happen.
Abortion is a
Yes.
right.
Because otherwise you're giving that
Sex.
unborn thing
Abortion is a right.
more rights than anyone else has.
No, because we're just giving them the basic rights. of
But
life.
no, because if that was a basic right, then the state would be able to force you to give blood to that guy and save his life.
No, because I don't have the same relationship to a random dude.
What does
that
it
I
matter?
do to my own
See,
child.
now you're drawing an arbitrary thing, saying somehow knowing the person in a certain way is important. I don't see that as important.
Okay.
If it's human life, to you, human life is human life. So it doesn't matter which relationship should be to that guy. Maybe it was a family member. Maybe it was blood family member. It doesn't really matter. Maybe it was your son. Maybe it was. I just think the relationship thing is just something you're making up.
Okay. Another thing is the baby is already alive, so if we do not provide that care,
Sorry, go ahead.
if we do not provide that care, she's the only one that can provide it, and
Yeah.
she's the mom.
Right.
So I
If
would
she
just-
can only provide it, and if she stops giving consent, she shouldn't have to bear the burden.
Okay, but she also consented to the sex.
Right, but sex is not consent to have children.
I mean,
Because she can get not only she can get she can do the what was that pill, that abortion pill, and
yeah, I don't agree with that either.
she can do the morning after pill, which is a few days after. So although she had sex, now she doesn't have to worry about it. She took the morning after pill. So maybe you're against that too.
Yes, I am.
Oh wow, there you go. See, that's I'll tell you right now. I was talking to those guys over there with a sign, and my biggest I just think a lot of people who are pro-choice and support abortion, I think a lot of them don't have the best arguments. But I mean, I support what they're saying. They didn't really have an argument like I see it. And one of the biggest things I have that they have an issue that they think negatively of is they think that it's all about the woman and her choices and stuff like that. But no one seems to give a shit about the man
Yeah,
and
I
his
don't agree
choices.
with that.
It's like if they can abort and if they can give it away for adoption or leave it in a safe place, but the man can't walk away without having to pay. Like he's forced to do something that she chose. And that's the biggest problem I have with them is, yeah, they'll go for the woman's rights, but they don't give a shit about men. So they don't give a shit about half the population.
Yeah, I definitely agree that.
So although I will see consistency in what you're saying, and I say, well, yeah, they shouldn't have this, they shouldn't have the ability to do the morning after pill, they shouldn't have to do abortion, blah, blah, blah. And now, although I can see some consistency in that, maybe you'd be for men being able to walk away if they never wanted to care for the child. I don't know, is that something that you would agree with?
No, I think that...
You don't think men should be able to walk away? Or not pay child support if he didn't want it?
I don't know. I think that the men
Have you ever thought about it?
I have.
Oh, really?
I think that men should take responsibility because obviously they help with that.
Okay, but responsibility only comes with choice. And if you're going to say the only choice they have was having sex, and we'd have to go with your idea of that, saying that sex is consent to have children, when technically it's not.
Technically,
because
it's a natural consequence of the act.
Even if we went with that, if the woman still has the ability to give it away for adoption or leave on steps of a safe place, the man has absolutely no. Even if we granted your thing, the man has no ability to do either of those things.
Yeah.
So you're making him pay for something when she has choices. Even in your scenario, when she has choices, he doesn't. Is that fair? Is that fair?
It almost has to be a case-to-case basis.
No. If he never wanted it, then.
If he never wanted the child,
yes,
and she also didn't want the child.
No. Nothing about what she wanted.
Okay, if she wanted to put it, or he wanted to put it up for adoption,
no.
Keep it. Is that what you're saying?
He doesn't. He's not saying you have to do anything with the kid. He wants to just walk away without child support for something that he never consented to.
So he doesn't want to put it up for adoption. He just wants her to handle it.
Yeah. If it's her, if she gave birth, she made those choices, so she should deal with it. Yeah. Because she can choose to get rid of it.
Yeah.
He can't. He doesn't have the same choice.
Yeah.
But because you can only be responsible if you have choices. But she has more than him. Is that fair?
I don't think that the woman should have more choices than the man.
Oh, so she shouldn't. Okay. So now we're going for that.
I think it should be equal rights.
Okay.
For sure.
So you think she shouldn't be able to give away for adoption, and she shouldn't be able to leave on a safe space?
I think that she should.
She should.
But I think they should have a mutual agreement. If that cannot be reached,
You can't have an agreement with someone who you barely know, who you just banged from the club the other night.
Then that's
you can't do that.
irresponsible.
Right, well, that's just the way humans are, especially here in America. It's just the hookup culture is strong.
It is, but does that make it right?
And you're a cute girl. I'm sure you get hit on all the time. So you're in risk group.
Yeah, but it's about being responsible, and I'm not planning on going down that route. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you think that the choices should be the same, but you're not saying how the man should have choices after sex, because she has choices, and you don't want her choices to go away. So how does he have choices?
I think that they should be equal. I think that there are hard things in society that it's hard to make it equal, but I do think that they should each have the option
of walking away. Because that's what the woman does when she leaves on the steps of a safe place or adoption. She's walking away. How do you think it's fair for him? How would it be fair for him to walk away? In what degree? In what?
I don't know.
Okay. I think not paying child support is the way to walk away.
Okay.
Financial abortion. If she can kill it, he should be able to neglect it.
I don't think she should be able to kill it. So you know.
Well, that's a joke. So I just think that it's difficult to. I'm glad you've come this far in discussion without referring to some god or some religious reason, which I'm sure you probably would if you felt like it. But I'm glad you didn't. But most people I talk to, they pull their imaginary god friend out of their hat and say, "Oh, this is my basis for everything," and then the conversation's pretty much dead at that point.
Yeah. So I would definitely. I do believe in God. But I will definitely say that this is not just my morals come from God, but that's not the only reason that
you think they do.
Abortion is wrong. That's why I say
you think they do. They don't come from.
Okay.
Morals come from other people. Religion hijacks those morals to take credit for them. They steal them from the popular.
Okay. I'm not gonna argue with those morals because I know that you're gonna just.
But it's just. I think whether you're pro-choice or pro-life, it really depends on how you feel. Because I don't think there's a strong argument really either way. Except for mine about you can't be forced to care for the person. I think that's pretty strong.
Okay. I think that a strong argument on our side is the scientific evidence.
What scientific evidence is that?
I mean, you have textbooks right here explaining what a human being is, and that
Right,
it begins at
yeah.
conception.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I think that's a pretty strong argument.
Yeah,
Because otherwise, it's pretty arbitrary what a human is.
well, that's just it. I mean, that's you could say that, but then you can say, well, sperm is human cells, so it's really debatable. It's comes a slippery slope. Even if you get rid of the they've been born thing, and then it becomes a slippery slope right off the bat there. That's why no rights until birth is so important, because so many things can go wrong up until that point, and would want to have the abortion, whether their life is in jeopardy or whether it would ruin their life, and they're not ready for it. There's so many reasons to do it. That's why I think it's important that they have that grace period to be able to do it. And it's like we're not short on humans, right? We got plenty of humans around the place. You know, it's not, and we have so many kids in foster homes and shelters and group homes that need a family and don't really have one. It's like we already have children in the world who need care and need a home. It's like, why should we care about continuing the life in ways that could lead to a lot to single-parent homes, especially single-mother homes, which actually contribute to criminality a lot.
I just believe that they have an equal chance. You know, we can't guarantee that they're going to have a good life, but we should try to work on the suffering instead of the sufferer. We shouldn't just say, okay, we're going to kill the sufferer so that they don't have to deal with their suffering anymore.
Wouldn't it be better to direct your efforts towards people who are already born, who are in, like, growing up in foster homes or group homes or shelters, state shelters?
I think that that's definitely an important issue that a lot of people need to be working on, and I 100%...
They have no good parents to look after. I grew up in that scenario. I went to like 6 7 high schools, and they don't have no one there to help them or anything like that. If we want to make life better, we should make better for the people who are already here and care about that and direct the resources to that instead of worrying about what could be.
I do agree that we do need to put a lot of resources in to help other people because that is so important. I just also agree that these people are humans too, and they agree that they need our resources and help too. So that's just my stance. It's okay if you disagree.
I think I should be coming.
That's cool. That's cool. You get a lot of guys to your side with just your looks, huh?
No.
I see they're still trying to block your signs and stuff here. Mm-hmm. See, that I'm not cool with.
Yeah.
But I think I've come to realize that the left is not about discourse. They're about, and that's one thing, because I'm not right or left.
Okay.
And that's one thing that
All right, here we go.
I don't like about the left is they're not willing to discuss anything. And if you say something against what they believe in, they automatically paint you as an enemy and shut you down and try not to discuss anything with you.
Yeah, I've discovered that a lot through outreach, that people are just scared to talk to you. And that's kind of sad because, I'm not trying to, push my views on anyone. I'm just trying to have a conversation
right.
like I'm having with you right now. We can have a civil conversation. Right. And so it's kind of sad that people just are scared to talk.
And so in that regard, and because of the whole alphabet mafia crap that the left has got going on there, with the whole transgender men crap or whatever, and their whole insistence of pronouns, and because they don't want to discuss anything, and I disagree with quite a few things they say, I just get the heebie-jeebies whenever I talk to them.
Yeah.
Even though I don't agree with the whole God, Jesus crap, and the anti-prostitution, and the anti-abortion, and all the other things that the right stands for, I find that I can have more conversations with a right-winger than I can with a left-winger, so therefore I'm more comfortable being around a left-winger because I'm a right-winger, because the left-wingers with the Antifa shit, they're just more violent.
Yeah.
And they don't, whatever happened to just discussing things and shit like that.
Agree.
I mean,
yeah, it's a tough thing.
The right and the left are both fucked up. That's why I'm in the middle. I take from both. I use logic and reason, and I take from both, and I see what works, what's reasonable.
Yeah, and I respect that you're not just, flowing one way or another.
Oh, yeah, no, never do that. Never.
Never.
I guess I'm a moderate. I don't know if that's different than moderate or whatever. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly what a moderate is.
I guess that would be it.
Would that be it? Yeah. I mean, I guess they want to be out here trying to, use a loudspeaker anyone try to talk to you, they want to interrupt you. See, that's not cool.
Yeah, I mean, I saw them handing out a few flyers earlier, and I respected that because they were actually talking to people. But the yelling's not really effective, in my opinion. I just think that it's not the best option.
I mean, with all the ability to do like social media and stuff like that, and vlogging and stuff, you would think that, okay, well, I disagree, this is why, let's have a discussion, let's post it online, let's see what happens. But it's like they're not trying to do that at all.
Yeah.
It's like they just want to shout down. And I don't know if you were here before when those people were here with that rapper whose name is Kanye West, now Yee or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were here when they went over there. The fire line was pulled here.
Oh, really?
Like a couple months ago.
Okay.
Or a month ago, and they had to go over there, and all the left were over there just trying to shame anyone going to talk to them. So they didn't really get very many visitors.
Yeah, that's sad. I'm gonna have to go now, though. I think we're about to pack up, but it was good talking to you.
Harassing students just to get food off campus.
What? It was good talking to you. You want a flyer?
Of course I want a flyer.
Thank you. You can read our website.
I would look forward to reading your website, because I have not been doing this for 20 years, so I know nothing.
Well, you can email us with whatever you want to say to us. You can read our Q&A. We have a huge Q&A page. You can press in the questions, and it has like all the arguments.
What about your email? Is that on there? Oh, that's sad. Okay. All right. Oh, wait, so you guys are just here to speak? That's it?
We're just here today.
Oh, okay. That's why you didn't know about that, because you're never here. Wait, how old are you?
I'm not going to tell you my age.
You're not 18 yet?
Huh?
You're not 18? You're not 18? Oh, wow. Okay. It's fine.
Okay. Good talking to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye.
Can I talk to you about your sign? Can I talk to you about your sign? No? But you're holding it. You still want discourse? What was that? You would flip someone else asking you about your sign? I actually happen to agree with abortion, but you just want to flip me off? Wow. Disgusting. Toxic. She has a sign, but she doesn't want to talk about it. That's kind of messed up. You can't even talk to these lefties. They'll hold signs, but they won't talk to you. Like if I had a sign out and I had a message and someone approached me, I would talk to them about it.
I do know that there was
We lost a comrade today.
Who's that lady who knows me?
Pardon me? So I saw this thing. Is this like the next generation of Segway, or like
Okay, it's not a Segway.
it's not Segway?
Not a Segway.
Okay. Did Segway go out of business? 'Cause this feels
Segway is a brand name. This is not that.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a Sherman Max.
Okay.
If you type Sherman Max or EUC, which are short for electric unicycle,
It's short for what?
electric unicycle EUC,
EUC, okay.
and YouTube, you'll see all about it.
Okay.
This particular one is Sherman Max.
Gotcha.
It goes 50 miles an hour.
I'm sorry. How many?
50 miles an hour, 70 miles per charge.
Gotcha. Okay. I guess that explains that you're going to go.
Yeah. That's why people think I look silly with my pads on, but they don't understand this. That's why they think that.
Yeah.
They see this, they say, "What are you doing, man?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm not as crazy as you riding a moped out in town without a helmet or anything, but."
Okay. All right. 'Cause I was thinking
You should get one.
well, I assume it's expensive.
This particular one is pretty recent. Within a year or so, it's $4,000.
Wow. Yeah.
But you can get cheaper ones.
Okay. But yes, that's more than I make in 2 months. Okay.
That's what 0% APR for 15 months credit cards are for. eWheels.com.
Sorry?
eWheels.com.
E-Wheels.
Yeah, there you go.
I was thinking about how I have not seen a Segway in a long time. They used to be on campus. There are a few professors that would go around on Segways, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
I wonder if like between electric
The battery
skateboards
lives on those things are not really that great.
Okay.
The skateboard like one that has the motor on it.
Yeah.
That's battery life's not too great on that.
Okay.
But this thing will last all day.
Gotcha. That's what I was wondering if it's just like, people perfected the design, so like the Segway's out of business, or like
Yeah, Segway
I
done.
haven't seen one in.
There's Gotway, there's Begode, there's lots of different companies now in China that make these.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, I know like the one with the wheel and like in the middle for the skateboard.
Yeah.
That one tries some on
Those are
yourself.
expensive. They're like over 1,000, like 1,500, 1,600, and it's like you can get an EUC that's way better than that for about the same price.
Gotcha. I feel like they're marketing to be like, hey, we're the off-road
Yeah,
ones.
they're
like,
supposed to appeal to the skateboarders and stuff like that.
Does this-
But they can't go over as much terrain. This thing, I put a little armadillo inside the tube. I can go anywhere. I can go off-road.
I'm sorry. You put what?
Armadillo,
Like
it's like slime. It's like
Okay.
the best version of slime you can get for a tube. So
Okay.
in case anything punctures, it'll just fill it right up.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I thought
In the tube,
I
yeah.
thought you meant in this.
No. In the tube inside.
Yeah,
Yes.
in the wheel. Okay.
Yeah.
Or the tire, whatever. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
And then I had to get this 3D printed. This is my kickstand. I laid it down on it.
Okay.
Had to get these 3D printed.
Oh,
And you got to get the spikes in the pedal so your feet can rest.
wait. So you added the thing to hold your legs?
Yeah. I added these,
Okay.
and I got new pedals, of course. Because if you don't have spikes on your pedals, then your feet hurt.
Huh, interesting. Because it's like trying to grip? Or?
Yeah. You're always mentally going to be wanting to grip it, and you can't, and it's just a continuous mental thing, and it never.
Okay. So this is your a custom.
Oh yeah, this thing probably cost about
For you, Mr. Man.
$4,500 when I was done with it, if not more.
How do I get that?
It's worth it. Though.
Yeah. Are you like an engineering professor here, or what?
I used to go to school here before.
Okay.
Yeah, I just come here for interesting discussions. I tried to talk to that lady over there holding that sign. Like, why would some? I'm not a left or right,
Okay.
but
You're top bottom.
I guess I'm a moderate. But a lot of lefties, they just don't want to talk. It's like you're going to hold a sign saying something, but when someone comes up to ask, "Can I ask you a question?" She's like, "No," and she flipped me off.
Right.
I'm like, what do you, I agree with abortion. And then she looked at me like she couldn't believe that's true, but she still wouldn't say anything. I'm like, that's the problem with lefties; they don't want to talk. But neither side. I mean, lefts make a little more sense when it comes to abortion, but the rights. I'm more comfortable talking to the rights because they're willing to have a conversation. I don't get the heebie-jeebies like when I talk to a lefty.
It does seem like I would, in not sociology, anthropology, that's what it's called, right? They talk about like honor cultures versus shame cultures.
Yeah.
Where like honor culture, you have to you deal with problems yourself, right? So like if someone slights you, it's like it's considered a problem if you don't respond in kind. Right. So it's much more like.
If you disagree with them, then
Right, like it's embarrassing for you if someone insults you and you don't like punch them in the face, right? Like you definitely just lost that interaction.
right.
Whereas in a shame culture, the idea is like you're going to appeal to an authority that is supposed to be like a neutral arbiter or whatever. And I feel like that's the difference in many ways, right? Like that, like a power play versus or like a desire not to have conversation versus desire. Like, if you're going to have a conversation, you're going to be appealing to something outside of yourself, I think.
well, you got to use logic and reason. I hope.
I think that's the way you convince people. Although I did have this thought. I wrote, and you can tell me whether this is a good idea. I was thinking like, if we assume that, which I think my guess being the majority of people on campus would assume that morality, at least, is decently relative. Like, what's good for you is good for you. What's not is not. Or like. You know, and so like you don't have a right to tell someone else what's right or wrong for them. If that's true, and you disagree with someone, you actually have nothing to appeal to change their preference.
That's why I think the whole abortion thing really comes down to how someone feels, what their opinion is, because there's really no. I mean, I think I have a good argument for abortion, but it really comes down to how you feel. And it doesn't really come down to something solid, because these guys here, the anti-abortion people, they're going to rely on, well,
they're going to rely on it. Like if you're killing a human life,
yeah, you're going to say life and stuff like that, but sperm is alive, so you can catch them on a slippery slope argument, or you're going to appeal to their God or some crap like that. And then the lefties just to go with, my body, my choice, a human right. And that's what I was going to ask her about. Is like, how does that work exactly? Because her sign says human right. Yeah. But I think the best argument for abortion is, you can't give potential humans more rights than an average person. You can't force someone to care for save another person's life. You can't make someone give blood to save another person's life. You have to give it voluntarily. You can't make special things up for this and give them more rights. Right. And they're not even developed yet, not even born yet.
Sure.
So I think that's a good argument, but maybe it's not. It's really the best one I think I have, and plus I think our lives are more important than potentials. And as far as where we're going, and we're not short on people, there's no dire need for more humans to continue the species. So I think abortion in that regard, therefore, is okay. I just wish all these lefties would care also about men and our rights instead of just the woman's rights.
Sure.
And that upsets me a lot, because women get all these choices. Even if they made them have the kid, they still have choices. Adoption or leave it in a safe space. Men don't have any choices. So it's very unfair. No one's speaking up for men. And it pisses me off.
I mean, to be fair, I think I could see, well, I actually don't know if this is true. If we should sort of gain a different voice. Anyway, if the woman were made to carry the baby to term, she still has choices, right?
Yes.
I don't know. I assume that the father of the child would have right of first refusal, to make it sound really bad. But right. If not, though, then I think that's crazy.
I think consent needs to be received from the man to be able to make a baby from his sperm, right? Because she has all the authority. It is her body. The doctors, legal says, doctor and her, it's between her and her doctor. She has all the power, all the choices. You can't give him responsibility for choices. You can't have responsibility without choice. And then these pro-lifers are like, well, you decided your choice was to have sex. But sex isn't consent to have children. Because if it was, then she wouldn't have any choices after. Right. So it's just not fair.
I do wonder if you're resistant to that argument because it proves too much that you don't want it to prove.
What do you mean?
Because to some extent what you're saying is, if I'm hearing you right, so if you want to say consent to sex is not consent to procreation.
No.
Right, I guess this is bleeding.
Well, punching someone is different than...
Right. But I'm just saying, you would think it's ridiculous if someone's legal defense was like, hey, I just punched them, they bled, right? Or they fell
Well, it would
down.
have to be a consensual fight where you both are punching each other.
Right.
I mean, to even try to do an
Right,
analogy.
right, yeah. I'm just saying the same way, like sex, like the, I don't know, the telos of sex is reproduction. So like,
Right.
it's like divorcing the means from the end seems
Me when I'm
sketchy.
self-righteous.
Yeah, it seems sketchy to me. Right.
Means from the end. What do you mean? What
Oh,
way?
so like sex is the means to reproduction.
Oh, yeah.
So like you're trying to like.
Well, sex could just be to have fun.
Right, I'm not saying like, I'm not saying your purpose for having sex.
Right.
Like some people are jerks and they like obviously rapists do it for power, not for maybe pleasure and power go together. I don't know, or like there's plenty of reasons people do have
That's
sex.
why they do it.
But the end of like the natural end of sex is reproduction. Is my thought. So like trying to divorce that.
Well, in order to have reproduction, you have to have sex. Yeah.
And that is like the primary purpose that sex exists for.
Well, I mean, that's the way nature.
Right. So
doing
to
it.
try to divorce that is I think would be hard.
Well,
to
we have
hold.
control over it. We can decide when to procreate and when not to. We can decide when nature will take its course and when it will.
Yeah, I'm saying for you though, like to consent to sex but not to reproduction. That seems. I'm not sure that's like philosophically tenable.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying that like I think trying to tease out a distinction of consent to sex and consent to reproduction will be a failed project because it proves too much.
So you think sex is consent to have children, even though we have all the means against it?
Well, yeah.
Because once we can control it, then it's not consent to have children.
Right.
If we weren't able to control it, then you'd be right. But we can control it now.
Right. I'm not sure. I think we can mitigate the effects.
Well, I mean, no, we could stop it altogether.
Right. I think that's still mitigating the byproduct, right? Like if you get pregnant and have an abortion, you didn't control whether or not you got pregnant. You just got rid of it, right? That's a right. Like there's a difference between like me fixing your car after I smash it. Versus,
I don't need analogies.
I'm just. So
I didn't even dignify her with saying like.
It's funny. All of this was actually to say that like I think like the reason the lefties don't like talking is because I think they are in general more relativists, right? And they have nothing to appeal to change people's minds because everything is preference. It has to be an exertion of power or coercion to get anyone to change, right?
Well, the right also uses that because they do the whole life and they give the pictures of the dead, miscarriages or fetuses, something like that. So they use emotion to try to win their side. So it's not like they have more facts.
I think those are two different. I think not being willing to dialogue and just try to shut someone down is different than making an appeal, even if it isn't emotional.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Yeah.
So, but I think that's all they really like have to work with is our coercive forces.
It's just that I agree with their abortion thing, and I could come up with a good argument for it, but none of them are using my argument.
Right.
They're all just saying it's my body, my right.
Yeah.
But the rights, where do the rights come from? Society. And society can take away what?
Do you actually believe that?
I mean,
Well, where else do they come from?
I mean, I would think from being a human, right? I'm a Christian, so I would also say like from God, but like.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Right. I mean, I think that's actually the most fun places.
Well, what are rights? Rights are privileges afforded to us by our own kind, right?
Well, so I think we should make a distinction between rights and privileges. A privilege can be gained or lost.
So what's a right then? So a right can't be taken away? Rights can be taken away?
A right can be forfeited.
Or taken away?
Well, I would say.
Or ignored.
Right.
Or
like.
Cops do it all the time.
I guess I want to say like if someone like you have a privilege by someone's good graces or by society by something's good graces.
For their whatever they're doing.
Well, yeah, because they travel all around the country.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah. So they're here every semester. I don't know. You've seen them before. I'm sure.
Yeah, I wrote a column.
That one chick I was talking to is really cute. If only I liked white girls.
Oh.
But I'm like, I asked her about something going on here, and she's like, oh, when did that happen? So I'm like, wait, she's not a student here. I'm like, how old are you? She goes, I don't want to say that. I'm like, you're not 18 yet? She goes, no.
But if you have the people
Here
who
I
they
am
have
hitting
out
on
there that are like minors, if it's kind of unfortunate, 'cause, like there are these kids who
They
do
had to
their
pay. I
times.
heard they had to pay money to be here.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you are not a student group, to get a permit, you have to pay a fee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like $350 they have to pay to get the permit to
each?
do their
No.
things.
Yeah,
Like the
to
group
put up the signs.
collective.
Yeah, which is funny because like this
A
is where,
permit means that you can take one of these tables for a day.
well, so they are not a student group, so they can't have a table.
Oh.
But to placard or whatever,
Yeah.
like so if you're going to set up a sign, like so like they don't have a permit, and in theory the university should be able to shut them down. But
But
they
you know they're not going
But
to.
they never will.
Because it's the lefties.
Yeah, well,
and they just whine and complain.
I've been here for years. This is the only group where like if you obstruct their stuff, the university won't get involved, right?
Yeah.
Because like even for Gator Christian Life, we've had signs out here, and people haven't done anything.
They made
right?
friends with the police, that's all.
Well, it's funny. There was a woman. This is quite a few semesters. This is before COVID.
Two of them for taking one of the signs were arrested by the police.
Yeah,
Two
because
of the protesters.
yeah, for stealing the sign and then resisting arrest. So,
Hey. Nothing.
sorry,
I was
oh,
gonna.
oh, I thought you were on your phone. Sorry.
No, the way you're standing, I want to fix it. Can I fix it? I want you to do this every day. I know you're wearing a backpack. Do the back, shoulders back more. Okay, this is how you should be. Okay.
Like the way your toes look.
No. I want you to, even though I know you got a backpack on, but for the rest of your life or the next 2 months, I want you to shoulders back. It'll feel weird, but I swear to you, after a month or two of doing that, it'll seem normal, and you'll look and feel better because people see more confidence. And I'm telling you, it works wonders. I used to hunch like that.
Are you like a physical therapist or something? Or?
I got a thing about that.
Oh, okay.
Because I used to walk, I used to like that all the time, and I did it for like a month, and I had to remind myself every few minutes. But then it was I'd have to remind myself over the week, and then soon it's good. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on your. You were saying something.
Oh no. I guess we were talking about rights and privileges.
Yeah, see, she's like she wants to show her sign to everybody. It's like I try to come over and talk to her, and I don't know if she flips me off,
Right.
assuming I'm against what she's saying.
I think she's just like she's showing what team she's on, right? That's all she wants to do.
That's all she wants to do.
Yeah, and that, I mean, people you have the right to do that. Like, it's not like an intellectually rigorous thing, but like, but sometimes you just want to be in the crowd, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
Sorry, I've been reading this guy Bonhoeffer recently. He talks about the individual, the crowd, and the community. And I'm interested in that because I feel like the word community gets abused a lot nowadays. Like, hey, join our Discord community. It's like, come on, guys. Like, that's not a community. That's not, like, you're not even a club, right? Like.
Well,
we
it's an online community.
We all like memes. Cool, right? Like I'm just saying, like.
What is the group over here? What is this? Something unrelated?
They're selling plants.
Oh, okay.
What's the difference that they put between the UF SAI administration here?
Who are those guys just washing everything?
SAI, they're in charge of event management for the
Oh, they're
states.
making sure nothing's going wrong?
Right.
But they're not taking care
Yeah,
of
of course
them.
not. A few years ago, again, they had the signs, and one woman walked up and just was shoving each one over.
Oh.
And the SAA guy ran up, and all he did, arms behind his back, because he couldn't touch her, right? Tried to get in her way and say, "Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it," and she just did it and walked off. And
I mean, it's like a public institution. They have a very tenuous line. They have to walk with how directly they can interact and where they can intervene and everything.
Right.
You see, they're not talking to the loudspeaker anymore now that those people left.
Well, yeah. Oh, I mean, I think they feel like they won.
Now they're like, yeah, we won, they left. Victorious! There's going to be lots of abortions now.
Right.
I don't know.
I think I would say
Are you part of this group over here?
oh yeah.
Okay.
Does that make you Batman?
I figured that's why you came over.
Oh no, I came over actually because yesterday I was talking to people about Segways.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
Segways are not, they don't exist anymore.
Right, that's what I said. Like, did they go out of business? Like, I
Well,
know the
they're just not popular anymore.
Right, I think the inventor or the CEO committed suicide. And I'm like,
We have to get these from China because someone has a patent here in the U.S. which stops us from making it here in the U.S. Someone has a patent for this shit.
Is he making them?
No. He's waiting for someone to make them so he can sue them and
Oh, he's a
kill us
patent
money.
troll.
Huh?
Patent troll.
Yeah, it's just stupid, dude.
Yeah, there's companies like that just like buy up or own a bunch of patents and they don't actually make the product, they just hold it so that
I
someone
hate
tries
it so
make the
much.
product,
It
they
needs to
hold
be
it.
redone. Like if you don't make something,
Right.
I think the patent should be.
Yeah, I feel similarly with copyright law, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
a lot about
copyright thing is stupid. Though.
Well, I think what what radicalized me was the Dr. Seuss books. So 6 of them were identified as racist, and so the Seuss company said, we're not going to publish them anymore. And I'm like, one of them was like one of my favorite books growing up, and I would like.
How
to
was it
share that-
racist? Was it really racist?
There was a very stereotypical depiction of someone from China in it, right?
So?
Short, yellow, like long mustache.
Why is that racist?
I think racist is probably the wrong word. It is stereotypical.
That's okay.
Well, it's not, right? Or
Well,
hey, listen, the people with the power have decided it's not.
you know what I
and
don't
that's how
like?
morality works
I
now.
like it. I hate it when I hate it. Sorry, I love Indian women. I hate it when someone dresses up like a Native American,
Yeah.
and then these lefties start trying to say you're trying to appropriate the culture or some bullshit like that. Some white guy dresses up as that like that. Like it's such bullshit. I hate that kind of crap. Like they'll think of ways to say something's wrong with nothing wrong with it. Like I can remember seeing this video. Some white kid had dreadlocks or whatever, and some girl on campus was grabbing him, assaulting him, and saying, "No, come here. What are you doing with the dreadlocks?" and blah blah, trying to fuck with him. And then she tried to play victim afterwards. I hate that kind of crap. Dude, people are stupid.
I think if your highest ethic is offend no one except those that you find offensive, right? Like, that, like I think that is like a lot of sort of the more outrage that we see is around that, right? Like, or at least maybe left wing outrage, which right wing outrage is like, you know, you're changing the country or whatever, right? Like, because it's like, oh, you may hurt someone's feeling by doing this, and so therefore it should not be permitted for you.
Yeah. The whole
yeah.
feeling bullshit. I hate that crap.
Right, but here's the thing, right? Again, if morality is just preference, right? You can't change someone's mind, right? You say you're an idiot, and that's about it, right? But if you get enough idiots, right, yelling, well then I'm not saying they're idiots, per se. I'm just saying that they're
Well,
that's the
they
group.
are in how they approach some things.
Right. But I'm just saying, if you get them, I think all morality is right today. By the way, we do morality is a power play, right? We say that you can keep your preferences as long as your preferences don't cross the preferences of the people in power. Right. That's why, right? Like Christians are hateful, right? Because we say no, morality isn't that, or no, we actually believe there is a right way.
I don't respect anything that is supported in fiction.
Hey, I agree.
Well, if you did, you wouldn't be a Christian.
Oh, it's not fiction, right?
What?
But it's not fiction.
What is it?
Christianity.
Of course it is.
This is not an argument, sir. You don't act like the lady over there.
What do you mean? No, she told me to fuck off. She wouldn't even talk to me.
Okay, yeah, okay, but
No, it's like that's why I don't entertain any of that crap at all, because the Bible, Jesus, God, all that crap is just stuff we pulled out of our ass. So I don't respect any kind of fallacious belief. If it's a fallacious belief, without any support in science and scientific evidence and truth, and doesn't, if it's not shown to be realistic, then it's garbage. In order to solve problems in life, we have to have as realistic an outlook on life as possible.
I agree.
If we don't, well, if you did, you wouldn't believe in that stuff.
I think that the story that comes from believing in the Christian faith is
story.
No, I mean, everyone tells a story, right? Like that. What is your story? Is science can give us everything.
Go ahead and finish what you're saying.
Right, I would say I think it leads to a more realistic understanding of the human experience, of the nature of reality.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Because you'd have to show, because that stuff, Christianity and the Bible, asserts the existence of imaginary friends that you can't not only can't define, but you can't show exist.
You're assuming your conclusion, right?
How am I assuming any kind of conclusion?
You're saying I don't believe the Bible because it's fake.
Because it doesn't, because the things that it says asserts are true does not show to exist. That's logically consistent.
No. Is it logically consistent to try to use science to prove something that's supernatural by definition?
Well, the supernatural means above and beyond the natural world. How can we ever know about it?
Right. So
that's just a hypothesis.
Right. So you're arguing that the only things knowable are natural.
Well, wait, we live in the natural world, do we not? Do we not go by science and what shows to exist?
Right.
I mean, what is truth, right? What is reality, right?
I think truth and reality are the same things. I'm with you.
No, they're not. The
truth is
well,
yeah, come on.
Truth is a degree to which a statement corresponds with reality, right?
Right, so the truth.
Right. There is only one truth on things like this, and reality is that which can be directly perceived or indirectly ascertained via the proper use of reason.
No. Whoa. That's crazy.
How is that crazy?
Right.
That's the actual definition of reality.
Reality is what is.
Right. That which can be, for us, that which can be directly perceived or indirectly ascertained via the proper use of reason. That's reality.
So anything that's beyond reason isn't real?
No, it's not real to us, our understanding of it. We are what matter. We are the ones who are trying to understand the world. We're trying to speak from our viewpoint. How can we know about reality? We must use certain methods, like scientific method, in order to understand it. So, although you can still say, yeah, God could exist, even though we don't have any evidence of it, you can, in the same token, you say Tinkerbell can still exist, and we don't have any evidence of it. So it's really, you can talk about any kind of character and say it could exist, but as far as truth is concerned, how we see it, we need to use logic and reason, scientific evidence, to show that what we're saying is true actually is true. And if we can't do that, it doesn't matter how much we think it could exist and not know about it. The fact of the matter is we don't know about it, therefore we should not believe in it. Belief should only happen when we have evidence to show and a good definition of the show of what we're talking about.
See, I think that sounds good. I don't think you live that way, based on our abortion conversation.
That's how we should work on everything.
Okay. Well, let's work on the abortion conversation. How do you decide?
But I like this conversation. But go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, this is just a means to get back to that conversation. I promise.
Okay.
Right. How do you talked about potential life?
Yeah.
Right.
As in rights.
How do you decide that versus life?
Birth.
But like that seems very arbitrary. What is
well,
scientific?
You have to draw the line somewhere.
And whoa! I only draw lines when science, reason, and facts.
Okay.
Like, hey,
right.
back up.
Well, then you're gonna have a slippery slope argument there.
I'm saying that your argument doesn't hold.
If my argument doesn't hold,
I'm using your argument.
If my argument doesn't hold,
yeah.
then it's a slippery slope, and no one's argument holds.
I don't think that's true because
Sure it is.
You're giving reason supremacy that it doesn't have. You're putting too much weight on reason.
Well, you can use lots of different reasoning, like for why birth matters. But if you want to, it depends on what you try to use for an argument to say that it shouldn't matter. Then becomes anyone's game.
Right. And I think actually that is the I don't think it's a slippery slope. I think it's a logical conclusion.
What's the logical conclusion?
Right. That it's all out the window.
Well, yeah, but then it has to do with your opinions and what you feel like.
Right. And we don't want that. So we can dress it up in the veneer of science, but let's not pretend like we're being scientific.
Yeah. Well, for either side. That's why it's about opinion and feelings. It's about either side.
And those are not real. Right. Reality is not that. Or is it?
I don't know what you mean by that and how that applies to what I said.
Well, am I being crazy, Ronan? Okay, yeah. We have substantive disagreements too, but I'm not just like, hey, this is a guy on my team that I need to say, yeah, Brian.
Yeah. You can consult your lawyer if you want.
No. I was more like, because it makes sense to me, but just because it makes sense to me doesn't mean I'm communicating clearly.
It's just that there's no reason. I don't see any reason to be against abortion. I see no reason at all.
Right.
So might as well have it because it affects someone's life who's already here. Yeah. They have plans. They have an agenda they want to accomplish.
Sure.
And
those plans are more important.
I think that they're more important.
Right. Is there a reason? Again, all I'm trying to do is say science cannot tell you to come to the conclusion that those plans are more important. Right.
I don't know. Science means to know.
Right. And so all I'm saying is all the time we're running up into areas in our life where science is insufficient. Right. And I think
science is insufficient.
Yeah.
Well, all we have is science, so that means we just don't know about it, right?
See, I think, again, you're assuming the conclusion.
What did I assume?
That science is all we have.
Well, what else do we have for figuring out the world besides science and scientific methods? What else do we have?
Right. And what I want to say is, I think we have, I'm going to steal from Pascal here. Are you,
Just go ahead with whatever it is.
Yeah. Right, he talks about reason, submission, right? Where it's actually right to trust something and just to accept it, right? And then I think reason, submission, and doubt are the three things that we actually have to work with things. Right.
In order for something to be reasonable, it must be shown scientifically. The scientific method works. That's why we use it.
I do not deny that. Right.
So,
but
what else is there besides science? Because you just said something that seemed like a salad.
Sorry.
No offense.
No, that's fine. Like if I'm not communicating clearly, it's not a good conversation, right? Like, or it's not helpful. I prefer that than be like, yeah, just nodding along and be like, this guy's crazy. You can think I'm crazy, I guess. I would say there are plenty of things that like you are very passionate about men's rights, right?
Oh yeah.
Rights are in no way scientific.
Somebody needs to be.
Yeah, sure. I have a good friend who that is like he has devoted his life to that. So it is only after he got burned really bad.
He got burned really bad? He was devoted to what?
To men's rights.
Okay.
Right?
Because he got burned.
Yeah. I mean,
that's the way it works.
Yeah.
Things don't really. You don't really take passion for things until it affects you so much. Like I didn't give a crap about religion until I was like 19, 20, and I met this chick who I clicked with. The first girl ever who I clicked with so well.
Yeah.
Talked to her for hours on end. The one thing we argued about was the whole Jesus God thing.
Yeah.
And then that made me realize how much religion can tear people apart and keep them separated.
Sure.
That's what upset me about religion.
I think you dodged a bullet though, right? If you guys had
well,
different values,
I don't know, because people can be reached. You know, I've helped deconvert quite a few women I've dated. They're now atheists because they've been with me for more than a month or two.
Okay.
So,
gotcha. So you're hoping, like,
you always hope to try to get through. I will date someone who believes in God as long as they're not a fanatic, because I know I'm logical and reasonable, and I know that shit coming out of my mouth is going to make sense.
You know, we are in a world that lacks confidence, and I really appreciate. I think that there are plenty of things that we say we know, whether like rape is wrong, that science cannot speak to, but we would say this is not.
I don't know. I think science can speak to that. Come on, you want to live in society. You want to live without pain, with as much freedom as possible, as long as possible. Blah blah blah. You must extend these rights to other people who want to live in society. I would think it falls under that. I wouldn't call. That's where our morality comes from.
Right. I wouldn't call that science.
Well, that's.
I think you're applying reason to moral principles.
Well, I think Sam Harris does a good thing. Covers that well in his book.
The Moral Landscape.
I think that
he just created a supernatural thing. Yeah. That's what the moral landscape is, right?
I think it has a few good points. Right. I might not agree with all of it, but I think that has some good points.
Yeah. To be fair, he's not consistent, right? Because he is.
I don't agree with some of his political views and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm thinking more of his like physical determinism.
Yeah.
Right. He posits this supernatural moral plane, but also as a physical determinist.
I just think in a way you can use science for morality. I just think there's a.
I think that if we pretend that all reason is science, then maybe what you're saying is true. But right, there's a reason of the heart, the mind knows not. And I'm not talking about just romance there.
I don't know. I guess you get tired of standing.
It was a long time, right? A couple hours.
Look at me! No, gotta check IG.
Listen,
gotta check IG.
Again, it's no.
Who wants to fuck me tonight?
It's no.
Gotta be top 20% of men. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah. I think it's no different than a politician wearing a little lapel pin. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, like, fuck mutual aid. I'm a social and I only care about, like, I need to...
Not too many blue-haired people out here today.
Maybe, you know.
Oh, when I was talking to that guy, this guy with the sign, with the pro-abortion sign,
okay.
I was talking about, there's one thing I don't like about it, is it cares so much about, the movement cares so much about women and their rights, and he goes, and one of the guys that I guess was trying to come off as a female goes, oh, well, trans men do get pregnant too. I'm like, because I didn't want to go there and not demolish it. Okay, for the sake of not having an argument right now about that, let's talk about biological men.
Oh gosh. I'm surprised they let you get away with that.
Yeah, I think his head went down. I think he had some qualm with it, but it's like, I kind of feel like coming out here with a sign that says, I can guess your gender. Or you win a free Starbucks coffee.
No, because they'll give you like, oh no, I'm non-binary, or I'm
like, what the hell is that?
You can say, I can guess your chromosomes. That would be the same.
Yeah. No, I would say gender. Because to me, gender and biological sex are the same thing.
Right. Is that scientific?
Yeah, I think so. Well, it's in our language use, I think it tends to sway that way, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they might be trying to change our language as far as what gender means.
Right.
And they might be updating some dictionaries and shit like that, like they're trying to do with racism, making it seem like you've got to have power to be racist, some bullshit like that. Like, they're always trying to change shit, right?
Yeah. And would you say that the old definition is better because that's a scientific definition of racism?
No, that's scientific. I don't know about that. But that's just the way our language came to. I mean, anyone could be racist.
I'm not disagreeing on the. Like, I'm just. This is the stone in my shoe right now. It's like, I think it is tragic that too many people think that science is the only way to know anything.
I don't know of any other way.
Right.
You can't use faith.
Except you know all this stuff.
What else? What else you can use? You can use faith.
No,
is that what you should use over here to believe in your Bible and your God?
No,
faith.
Well, I think.
What do you use?
I think there are times where it's appropriate to have faith.
The faith, okay.
But
you use to believe in a God.
No, I believe in a God because, like Plato, right, when he talks about all of us like shipwrecked sailors, right? So like
you believe in God because of Plato, what Plato said.
No, I was saying, but in a similar justification, right? To, like Plato says that, he would say the primary role of reason is that, in his analogy, everyone's a shipwrecked sailor. There's flotsam all around us, and we're looking for what holds us up, right? Right.
Okay, so we're looking for the answers of why things are the way they are, but what does that have to do with you believing in God?
Yeah, I would say that if I find a door, or I find a plank of wood, or I find a lifeboat, right, like the most reasonable thing for me to do is get a lifeboat, right? And I would say, again, that the picture that the Bible paints about the nature of reality is far more consistent.
Okay, so you're going off feeling. You're not going off actual science. You're going off how you feel about it. You feel that it's consistent.
Right.
It's your opinion.
I never once said feel.
Well, it doesn't matter if that's what you're alluding to. That's what you're implying implicitly.
No, I would say...
if you say something makes sense, that means you feel it makes sense. You're feeling...
Does it make sense? I feel like makes sense would imply reason.
Well, if you had reason to believe in a God, you would need to go about saying makes sense. You would be able to draw a line from your assertion to there actually being a God using scientific evidence.
See, again, I think you are assuming conclusions from the beginning, because you're assuming that the only things we should believe in are what science can prove, but you can't even prove that assumption. Your assumption is I will only believe the only things worth believing.
And my question again was, what else do we have besides science?
All I'm saying, I'm not denying that science is super useful. I'm saying you don't even live up to your own principle.
No, but what else do we have besides science?
Right. Well, you have something more because you've made this non-scientific assumption.
What non-scientific assumption did I make?
That the only things we can know are based in science.
We use scientific method. It works.
You trust science a lot because it has worked so much.
It works.
You have faith in the scientific method. And I think
if you want to go into epistemology discussion,
yes, sure,
then you're going to get nowhere.
Why?
Because if you're going to question everything, then we can question your God.
I agree.
Then you shouldn't believe in your God then.
See, that's foolish.
Because if you're going to question science, you're going to question your God. Because we have no other way of knowing about God.
Right.
What other way do we have that shows the word?
Yeah. I'm saying that just because you can question something doesn't mean you instantly throw it away. I mean, that was Descartes actually early on, right? Instead of cogito ergo sum, he wanted to say dubito ergo sum.
Okay, but what else do we have besides science to know what's true, what's realistic, what isn't?
Right. Here's what I'm gonna. I'll put it this way.
Okay.
I would argue. I think that even if God, even if some different God existed,
that sends you to hell for not using your brain it gave you, and sends me to heaven for being an atheist because I used the right one?
Sure.
That's a possibility.
It'd be a weird God that rewarded not believing in it.
Isn't yours a weird God who insists on people believing in it? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, not the second half, but the first half. But like,
Okay.
let's say
All
that
right.
let's say that
All
God
right.
exists,
All
right?
Go ahead with your
Right.
point.
And let's say now again, it'd be weird, again if this God held up atheism, it's weird. But if I think that trying to prove if necessity for belief in that God, which again, a God that extols atheism is gonna this is the problem. But like, if proof were necessary, I'm not sure you can do that about almost anything, right? We do proofs in math.
Okay, so you're trying to say that we can't prove anything, so you might as well believe in a God.
No.
Well, then why believe in a God?
I'm saying that your talk surety is too much.
But you're trying to make I've seen this argument before. You're trying to question anything anyone believes in to make it seem like believing in your God is just as good as anything else.
No. Okay.
That's the type of argument you're making.
It's not, but I haven't been able to finish
well,
my argument because we keep. All right. So here's the picture I'm painting. I think we all live.
Seem going that way.
All right. Yeah. All right. Tell me if this is different then. We all live as if we know lots of things, some of which are scientific and some of which aren't. Right? This is the human experience. Is that fair?
Can you just make your point?
Okay, I would say if that's true, if everyone lives as if there's more knowledge than just scientific knowledge, is it more reasonable to assume that there are other types of knowledge, or that all those knowledges are fake?
We'd have to have reason to think that there's something other than science to come to know things. We have to have reason to think that there's a way to know something exists without using science in order for us to think that we can use something more than science to know about what exists. Until there's something that shows there's more in science, science is all we have. Scientific method, this is all we have. Reason, logic, this is all we have. That's why we require testable evidence to show something exists, like your God. It's not exempt from that.
I would actually say that things that are supernatural would be exempt from science.
That's an assumption. You're assuming your God's supernatural. You don't know anything about it. You can't even define it. You can't tell me what it is. When you say supernatural, you got that from a book or from whatever doctrine.
Right,
but you don't know if anything's supernatural. You don't know if a supernatural squirrel that roams around at night does things. You don't even know what supernatural is. So, but yet you believe that it's supernatural for no good reason.
I think we all believe in supernatural.
I don't believe in the supernatural because that means above and beyond the natural world.
Right.
And I've never
experienced. And you believe in right and wrong, which is above and beyond the natural world. Right.
Now you're talking about something else.
I'm talking about the exact same thing.
Right and wrong isn't a being of some sort, so it's not on the same.
But I'm saying as soon as you allow for transcendental things to exist, then then we have to admit there's something else. There's another way of knowing.
Okay, so you're just trying to question everything. You're back to the same thing again, trying to question everything. Therefore, make room for this. Because you can't say something with certainty, therefore I'm correct. That's called the argument for ignorance. You don't know how everything came to be, therefore I'm right. I could be right.
You are straw manning me.
No. That's exactly the kind of argument this goes to.
You're not willing to concede that your life contradicts your views.
I don't see how.
And so it's hard to reason with someone who isn't willing to admit that.
I don't know everything, and of course, in epistemology, I accept certain things, of course. But we all have to. But when you question that epistemology, in order to shake up someone's worldview, you might think you're achieving that, but you're also destroying your assertions for a belief in a God. Because if we're going to question everything, then there goes your God.
Right. I think what I want to say is that my God stands up to questioning better than.
You can't even tell me what it is.
I don't know. What do you like?
What is a God? What is this God of yours? What is it made of? Where does it live? How do you even know about it?
Right.
How do you even know about it? Anything. Tell me all about it. What's it made of? How do you know anything about it? How do you have evidence to show that it's true? That it's those things.
I think I can point to evidence, but by very nature.
So evidence. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. I would say that here's the thing. I think you will be resilient to the evidence I'm providing.
If it's hogwash, then yeah, because I want to know what it is. Because if you ask me, I'm using the analogy just so you understand what I'm trying to ask for.
Yeah.
I'm not using it as content.
Yeah.
But if you ask me what this is, I'd say electrocycle, and I'd tell you, how it works and what's it made of and stuff like that, because it's a real thing and this is what it is and what's the evidence for it, and I'd be able to give all that. But so when someone asks you about something you believe in, you should first tell them what it is, because in order for us to believe in anything, we have to have a basic idea of what it is, what it's made of. So if you believe in a God, we should know what it is. What are we talking about? What is this thing?
I would say God is an infinite, all power. Now again, I have not offered any argument, and you're already dismissing it.
Right,
Do you see?
And I'll tell you why. Because we don't know of any being that's infinite. We don't know of any being that's all-powerful. These are things that don't describe it. These describe things that you think it's capable of doing, or actions it's taking, and things of that nature, when you have no foggiest clue of anything that can do those things. But you're certain that thing. When I ask you what it's made of, where it lives, all these things, you're not answering that question. Your first thing was to give these talking point words that all believers give to try to describe something that actually don't describe it at all. When you call a God infinite and all-powerful, it doesn't tell me a foggiest thing about what it is, because I don't know of anything that's those things. I don't even know what that means. No one knows what infinite is in something, because we all understand things to be finite. We don't know anything that's all-powerful, because we know things have limitations. So when you attribute that to a God, right away you're losing somebody. When you want to define something, you got to start right off the bat with what makes sense and how someone can wrap their head around it. If you can't do that, then it's just a word salad.
Right. Let me see if I'm understanding what's happening here, or like narrating what's going on between us. I think, by means of analogy, I think we both have a set of glasses we use to see reality. Is that fair? Or like to understand human experience and the world around us, like that, like our philosophy.
Everyone interprets experiences differently.
I'm just going to say glasses.
That's why we use evidence, testable evidence, scientific evidence, to see if our conclusions match up with the data. We need something to test it to show that we're not crazy. So when someone comes to a conclusion that they think it's true, that's why we use science to show that, okay, you're not off base, or you're way the fuck off base.
Now let's. I'm going to try to sit in your position and describe the glasses that you see I'm wearing. Okay. Again, I'm just...
Go for it, man.
Right. So you would say my glasses are foggy, or maybe have some stuff painted on the lenses, so that when I see reality, I see a nature that isn't there. Right. I see a super nature that isn't there. Right. Is that fair?
I don't think you see it. I think you interpret, or you believe in something that you can't show to be true. Sure.
Right. My thought is, for your glasses, right, like that whatever part, like as soon as God comes into the picture, it will be dismissed because your glasses don't allow for that existence.
My glasses make glasses that you quote unquote say.
I'm just trying to use an analogy to give us like
anything asserted to exist.
Right.
Must be evidenced in some fashion.
Okay.
That's not, we're not on equal grounds when it comes to that. We don't just have separate glasses. I try to live in reality as well as accurately as I can. I try to have a very intimate relationship with reality. So I require definition and evidence of things asserted to exist. I'm not going to just, I could be wrong about everything, so it's okay for me to believe in anything. And I'll give it the shadow, I'll give it the doubt, whatever that phrase I'm looking for is, the benefit of the doubt. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. But no, that would not be reasonable,
right?
Because whenever you believe in something that has no evidence, that's an irrational belief by definition. So my glasses are me using logic and reason to be able to understand what's going on. It's not the same. It's not just two different glasses we bought. I
want to say I think I'm not saying our views are the same, but like the more clear or in focus set of lenses would be the better pair of glasses. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know how the conversation can go forward, unless you without admitting that there are things that are not scientific that you state.
In order for me to admit that, I have to know that that's true.
Okay.
And
so you don't know rape is wrong.
Okay. I don't need analogies.
That's not an analogy. That's is that a fact or not?
Yes, but I don't really see the reason for the question. I'd have to know that there's more than science to know to understand what does or does not exist in the world as far as beings or things that show to exist. I'm talking about, what abortion and like that. I'm talking about things said to exist. I would need evidence for it. Understanding of it and evidence for it. That's what I would need. But until you show that there's more than evidence, more than science to be used to determine that, then I can't admit to anything if I don't know of anything more than that.
And again, I think the conflation of science and reason is a problem because I think that rape being wrong is a moral fact, right? And you can reason from there. Even though you're using the same reason you use in science, but you're not using scientific facts or laws.
I asked you why you believe in a God. You say because the Bible makes sense. That was your whole foundation for it.
I want to say...
So I use scientific method. I use evidence. I use, reason, logic to determine whether if there's any evidence for it. But you just say the story makes sense, therefore I believe. Like unless you give me more than science, then why would I even agree with you? Right. Or even entertain it? Seriously.
I think it's literally impossible to use science to prove the Bible.
Then it's crap. We shouldn't believe in it.
See, and you're an idiot for thinking...
How can I be an idiot for using all we have to determine the reality?
Because science isn't all we have to determine reality.
You have to be able to show that.
Right. And I'm going to say, when you say rape is wrong and you think that's a real thing, science didn't tell you that, and you're too stubborn to admit it. Right? Like, that's it. Like, because
I don't know. I think science can be used to help be the foundation of many morals that we have. But we're talking about morals. We're not. No. This is totally different. We're talking about morals. We're not talking about beings said to exist, which is a totally different thing. How else can we determine that a being somewhere in the universe or outside of it actually exists? You can't use this rape thing to talk about something totally unrelated. You'd have to show how else we can use besides science to know it exists. You can't use analogies. See, analogies are only used to help someone understand a point. I don't need help with a point. You need to stick to conversation and show that what you're saying makes sense and how we can determine that it's true what you're saying.
It's not an analogy because both, like, the existence of something supernatural, whether it be a moral fact or a being, would both be outside the realm of science.
Well, then okay. If it's outside the realm of science, which you said that you think there's more than science. Now show me what you've used besides science to determine that that's true.
I think, right. Well, I think we agree science is observational, right?
Just tell me what else you use besides science.
Right.
No questions. Just tell me.
Observation of the human condition and the world.
I don't really know what that means because if you use observation, you're using science to understand the world.
So when that girl left you because of
I left her.
Okay, whatever.
I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Okay. Because you hadn't.
I left. It was my first time. I didn't know what that meant. Yeah. I'm a dumbass.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. She was religious anyway, so I tried to play it off. No big deal.
Okay. Wait, so you.
But if you ever meet a girl you can talk to for hours on end, don't get rid of her. Solid advice. See, I'm teaching you all sorts of things. How to stand, women. She's paying me for this. Sorry, go ahead. I'm just playing.
I think that what we live for in life, right?
Okay, go ahead.
Right. What will get you up in the morning? What you hope to achieve, right? You can say like, oh, I'm just after endorphins, but like, man, was it like I want a girl who I can talk to for hours?
You're talking about people's meaning or purpose in life. Because that's what that is, and that's arbitrary. Depends. It has each person's going to define that differently. So there's no general reason.
Yeah. But I would say, like, wait, it feels like something's at stake in our life, in relationships, in moral decisions, more than just our preferences, right?
Just don't look confirmation. I'm just waiting to hear what you think besides science we have. That's what I'm waiting for.
Right. I'm saying we can use reason applied to other areas that science cannot touch.
Okay, like what area?
Right. Like I would say, like when I parent my kids, right? Like
I don't need don't do analogies. Just
It's not-
talk directly about this because we're talking about a God. I want to know. We'll stick to that topic.
Right. I don't-
A lot of religious people, they have to go off on analogies and talk about something else other than the conversation.
I think you are impervious to anything about God because you won't admit that.
I don't even know what it is. Of course, I'm not going to be impervious against it. You might as well tell me about
You are going to be impervious.
whatever. You might as well tell me about Tinkerbell or Tooth Fairy.
Right.
I mean,
Here's my tactic, if you want. I'm trying to get you to see that science can't answer every question.
well, no. I think science can. We just haven't gotten there yet.
Right. And I think that is our fundamental difference. Like without that resolved, like there's no point, right?
Well, I'm still waiting to hear what else besides science we have.
Right. And I want to say that if your assumption is there's nothing,
No. I want to hear from you what besides science is there.
right? I think we can apply reason to other facts that aren't scientific.
What fact?
Right.
What?
I think morality is one. I think
How is morality going to tell us? How is looking at morality going to tell us that there's a God?
again, that's not my tactic. Is like
I don't understand that. You're just not.
if
You said we can use morality
right
besides science.
to right. I say no. I say morality is a field where you cannot apply science, but you
I don't
can
know
still
about that. I
things.
think you can in some degree.
Right. Yeah, I think that's. So I'm curious.
I think you can. Like rape. I think you can use science to show that that's wrong.
To show it's wrong.
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay. Because it's unpleasant for someone.
Yeah. It disrupts life. Just like I said earlier about how you live in society, how much you must offer rights to other people in order to live in society. You have to give those same rights to other people when we live in society. That's part of a functioning society that
Right.
develops and moves forward and procreates and has happiness.
Yeah.
And so that's part of it. And that's you know.
So when I took cultural anthropology in Little Hall, it was actually my very first university class. I was late to it because I didn't realize Little had doors on both sides, and I kept waiting for people to come out, and they never did, but they went out the other door. There's a society in Indonesia where the coming of age ceremony for this 1,000-year-old society is they choose one woman or one young girl, a virgin girl. They set up 4 stone pillars, put a stone on top. Each man in his coming of age ceremony rapes her, and then at the end they crush her and kill her. Right after every guy has raped her. Mm-hmm. If you went in there and said, "Hey guys, this is wrong. You need to stop doing that," you would totally destabilize that society. And
Yeah,
you're gonna
I don't
say
know about
that
destabilize it. It would change.
You're a men's right guy.
I
Don't
think-
you
I
think
think-
the process of like the
I think they'll still be able to do their everyday tasks and everything else. They'd have to just change one thing. And although that might change their rituals or schedules of how they do things, I think it's for the better.
And so you would go into there and say, like, hey, science can tell you
Sure.
that if you don't rape this girl, these guys are still men.
But
And
okay, you're asking me questions.
Right.
I want to know what besides science we have to determine the truth about the existence of a being.
you made the assertion that science can be used for morality. And,
Okay.
and that's
Okay,
crazy.
is your whole argument going to be, I think we can use morality to determine that there's a God? Is that what you're trying to say? Is
No,
that your...
my argument is if morality is real and not relative, right? If it's not just our preference, and so that's the big if. But it seems none of us. Well, I don't know. You haven't actually said it, but believe that morality is just relative. Then something that is non-scientific and non-natural.
Okay, but you said
exists.
if.
Right,
So
yeah.
you don't know. So then why believe in a God if it's an if?
We are having a conversation. I'm saying if because we don't share that assumption.
Right.
Right. And so the whole point.
So you think because we have morality, therefore there's a God?
This whole no, you're not listening.
I don't know. You're
I
not
said
making-
all I'm trying to show you is with the idea of morality is that there's something beyond nature that can exist, and we can use reason.
I don't see how it's outside nature. It's something employed by us. So we're in nature. We're natural.
Right.
We're nature. We're part of nature.
Again, that's assuming the conclusions, right? Because the counterclaims for most cultures is that we are not merely physical, and so you can't say like, oh, it's
Who
employed by
cares
us.
what they think about that? There's nothing
Right.
showing that's true. So I should give it serious consideration.
Right. They would like 1,000 years ago, 1,500 years ago, they would have said the same thing to you. Like, hey, we've always known that we are soul and body.
Right, but
you're
they
saying,
can't show
You're
it.
saying we're just body.
So we're not back
Show
there,
that
we're
we're
here.
just body. Show that we're just body.
No, I'm not the one making the.
No, you would be. Your claim is novel.
No. The person with the positive assertion always has a burden of proof.
Right.
The skeptic does not have the burden of proof. So if you're going to say that something is an addition, something is true, something exists, it's that you have the burden of proof, not the skeptic. I would still be the skeptic in that situation. I'd still be without belief in souls or spirits.
Right.
They would be the one with the positive assertion. They must show that what you're saying is true.
Right.
I don't have the burden of proof. I never would.
But you are making an assertion that we are only.
I am without that belief.
Okay.
Without that belief.
So you do not make the positive assertion souls aren't real.
Just like an atheist is someone who's without belief in a God. I don't say there is no God. Someone who says there is no God is still an atheist.
No, you say it's all
No.
fairy tales.
I can say
that's
that.
a positive assertion.
Right, but that's not required to be an atheist. An atheist is someone. The prefix.
That's, yeah, I
you understand?
I can agree.
So the
Like,
same
come
thing
on.
agreed.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I know the history of the etymology. All
right, great.
Right. I'm saying though, like that's cool. Generally, you as an individual are making a positive assertion.
What positive assertion?
It's
am I
all
making?
fairy tales.
If I ever say that God's a fairy tale or spirits or Jesus probably never existed, all that other shit, I can only say it with as much certainty as I say there is no Tinkerbell or Tooth Fairy or anything like that. I don't know that Tinkerbell doesn't exist, but because there's lack of evidence and to substantiate it, I dismiss it. That which can be, Christopher Hitchens says this, well, that's what can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
Sure.
I have a meeting at 2, which is now
Right.
2:09, but I don't know where we're meeting. What was your name, by the way?
Ted,
Hi, I'm Brian with a Y.
what's up?
Ronan.
What?
Ronan.
Ronan.
Yeah, Ronan, R-O-N-I-N.
I should, at some point,
Okay.
I don't see you very often, but I recently read a couple comics that were about, I just forgot his name. The artist that you saw, or the artist, the architect that you saw was Gaudi.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
They were very well done. I should pass them along.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
I saw them.
You saw the comics?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Oh, there's the guy I'm meeting. So,
All right, man.
sorry,
Peace. Good talking to you.
Ted. I appreciated your patience with me. I'm sorry that I called you an idiot. That was inappropriate for a conversation.
It was, but that's cool.
And
Never get too far with these discussions because religious people have no foundation for their beliefs.
is that a positive?
Based on lots of experience.
Okay. Because every time you made a comment like that, you ask me to prove it.
Someone can always prove me wrong, but it's a general conclusion based on hundreds, if not thousands, of debates.
Okay, fair enough. And you have a decent deconversion rate, so
Every girl.
except for the first one, you got away.
Yeah, I didn't spend any time with that because I was uneducated.
Oh, okay.
I was just a wee of a lad.
Wow. Have you thought of looking her up?
I have. She's like old, and
Oh.
we don't deal with it with the post-wall women.
Post what?
Post-wall women.
Post wall?
They're over 30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No idea.
homie don't play that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. All right. Well, I did see. Oh no, actually no. I saw. Maybe it'll get tougher for you because it said like what 60% of men under 40 are single, but only 30% of women. So
I don't know, something like that. I don't know. America's bad.
yeah. When you moved to India, I hear you
No,
have
I'll
preference.
just turn to a passport, bro. That's fine with me. I don't care.
Turn to password.
Passport, bro.
Oh, I don't know.
You know what a passport, bro?
Oh
is?
no, that's my friend.
You when you go overseas to find a good woman.
Yeah.
You know.
So, yeah. There was an exchange student here from China. He married her. He really loved her.
There you go.
And as soon as it was enough years for her to be naturalized, she divorced
Oh
him.
yeah. You got to be
Took
careful of
their
that
kid.
shit.
Yeah.
A lot of guys are unsure what to look for, what to pay attention to in a relationship. They don't know what to look for. They don't know how to find. And especially American women, you gotta assume that's gonna happen eventually because we're very entitled here, you know. So sometimes women can become, Americanized if they're here too long and they have no good, strong family upbringing.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Well, thank you. Sorry, I'm interested. Yeah, again, segues are dead. But
All right, buddy. No, it's telepathy. Yeah,
Well, I
it's a
know,
form of magic.
I saw the thing in your hand. I didn't
No,
know
no, no. It's just how I move. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
All right, guys.
See ya.
Peace. How you doing, buddy? Guys. Got here for a while. What the time is it? 14:12. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here. Got to get some food in here at Waffle House. I just want to say that. I really didn't know what that guy was talking about. Tried to listen to him, trying to ask him. He's like, "Oh, you're ignorant for thinking that science is the only way." Like, I'm supposed to have an open mind about something. Sure, yeah, I'll be happy to know if there's more than science we can use about things said to exist. I'll be happy to know, about that, right? But until you show me something other than scientific method about how to know what does or doesn't exist, why would I think there's more than science? Why? It's like he's trying to make me say, well, since I don't know everything, therefore I should give his God the benefit of the doubt. But then he said he wasn't trying to say that. But this is exactly what he was trying to say. Jesus fucking Christ. So, yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Try to get a little intellectual discourse in there. The lefty's been talking to it all. That one chick, she took me. I understand. Alright guys, this is going to be one hell of a long video. Hope you can watch it. It's going to be lame. So stupid. Anyways, guys, tell me what you liked or didn't like about it. Tell me what you would or wouldn't say instead. Anything I missed could have been better on. I haven't really debated abortion that much, so it's rather a new topic for me. A little bit, but not too much. Yeah. I'm gonna get some food. Peace. Peace. Is me?
Huh?
What?
Who you?
Who
are you?
What do you mean, who am I?
Say, who are you, bro?
What does that matter? Who am I? Huh?
Who are you? Huh?
What do you mean by that?
Saying, who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
The dude. Why?
Do what? What that mean?
What can I help you with?
Huh?
What can I help you with?
I just want to know who you are.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Saying, what's the problem over here?
Problem over where?
Looking over at me.
I'm not looking over you. I'm
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
video. Yeah.
Video who?
Huh?
Who are you, man? I don't care about going to prison, man. For the police, I don't give a fuck about killing you.
Killing me?
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen. Nope. What the what?
Video who?
Whatever I want.
Video. Huh?
Are you alright, man? You having a good day or what?
No, I ain't having a good day.
Why not?
Got problems with you, man.
Okay.
I'm saying right here on my turf.
This is your turf?
Yeah.
I don't think Gainesville has turfs.
Where you from?
Where am I from?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm from?
About Florida.
That's correct. You got
police?
49. You got 49 on the face.
You police?
Am I what?
You police?
Do I look like police?
Nah.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Get away.
I get that a lot.
Yeah. You get high?
Do I what?
You get high?
Nope, never.
What you do?
Do for what?
Man, what you do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
For what?
Money.
For money?
Yeah.
I work.
Work well.
I do stuff.
All right.
Lots of different stuff.
What kind of stuff you do?
Yeah. IT, e-commerce, you know, a little bit of everything.
Drink?
What?
Drink?
I don't do any drugs.
I said drink.
Alcohol is a hard drug.
Alcohol?
Yeah, it's a hard
You
drug.
want to drink?
It's a drug, so no.
Well, I ain't no drug.
Alcohol is definitely a drug. It's actually a hard drug. And marijuana is a light drug. Yeah. Anything that affects your mind in some fashion.
Marijuana?
What?
You marijuana?
Or what?
You do marijuana?
No, that's a drug. Actually, the only drug I do is caffeine.
Yeah. Come on and get like a cup of coffee.
What's that?
Go drink a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So you don't drink coffee?
I already had my coffee.
I ain't the one, bro. I tell you, bro. All that time to do all that smart shit, bro.
The what?
I'm saying, all that smart stuff you got, bro.
Yeah.
Man, I got blood brothers over here, bro.
You have what?
I got brothers over here. I'm looking at you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm watching you.
Good.
All right,
Thank you.
so what's the problem with it?
What's that?
What's the problem right here on the phone?
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Where you from?
What does that matter? What does it mean?
I mean, what you saying, though?
Huh?
Where you from?
How is that going to help you at all?
Yeah, it's going to help me a lot, man.
Okay. Tell me how.
Yeah, $20 right here.
$20?
Yeah, I'm hard $10.
Sorry, on $20.
What you got?
Yeah, nothing.
So what you right here for then?
Huh?
Why you right here?
Why can't I be right here?
Yeah. Man, you recording?
Huh?
You recording, man?
Am I recording?
Yeah.
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not.
So you the police?
Oh, you think I'm the police?
Yeah, you the police.
I get that a lot. I get that a lot. Why are you doing something you're not supposed to be doing? And now you're looking at me, seeing if I'm trying to watch you? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. Man.
So this is your block? Okay.
I ain't no block,
You gotta share it, man. It's not just your black.
Get the money, bro.
Okay.
You get some money?
Good luck
You
with
get some
that.
money?
Good luck
You
with
get
that.
some money? I'm serious, bro.
Huh?
Yeah, for real, man.
What's that?
This ain't your block, man. This ain't your area.
All of Gainesville is my area. This is my town. I own the whole thing. This is my crib. Until I move, then it's not my crib. Then you can have it after I move. Huh? Stuff.
Like what?
Lots of stuff.
This?
Nope.
Take the backpack out.
Nope.
Why?
I'll be showing you my stuff.
What's this?
Shit. Nothing for you.
I don't mind going down, bro.
You what?
I don't mind going down.
I don't know what that means, going
saying,
down.
you got a backpack? Look at that here.
Huh?
Ain't no harm, man. I'm like dumb, bro. I ain't stupid with you, man.
I'm not sure what you're saying.
I'm saying, though, I tell you what, man. When I walk over here and come back, bro, in the area right here.
Uh-huh. What?
Where's your business?
Oh, you think
Who are you looking at?
Oh, you think I'm disrupting your business? Is that it? Huh? What do you want to look at?
But you can't catch me.
I don't think
Man, what's that right there, bro?
Huh?
Ain't no horn shit, bro.
Okay. I'm VIP. I'm VIP.
Police motherfucker. I'll be back.
All right, I'll be around. I'll be keeping the place warm for you. What's that?
Yeah, man. Pull up, bro.